Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And you know what? I'm going to throw a little bit more in there and pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation through the utter defeat of gun controllers everywhere. Let's get it. This is going to be something that you are going to love. The media just came out and said the Democrats are failing on gun control. If you don't believe me, everything's linked right down there for your own research per usual. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And please send this out because there's not enough of this going around. All right. This is literally what I read this morning when I was preparing notes after my filming with Tim for Second Legacy. Listen to the headline, and we're going to dive in because you're going to love this. Despite latest wave of mass shootings, Senate Democrats struggle to bring attention to gun control. This is posted December 7th in the evening. What? Let's explore this further because we gotta talk about this. Now, this is coming from one of the gun control activists or gun safety activists. This is his perspective. Now listen to what the media is throwing the Democrats under the bus for. This is a big deal, and remember what we've been saying this whole time, what it was oriented towards. Let's keep going. He told lawmakers, this is the witness, as you consider ways the federal government can address the issues of gun violence, sustainable federal funding that brings violence prevention to scale must be part of the solution. Bryant felt the conversation and questions were strong, but the room wasn't filled to capacity when he testified, and the media coverage was scant. Bryant says he wonders how many people heard the message. The media coverage was scant. If the Democrats don't have the media, they don't have anything, legitimately, because their message is completely dependent on the media carrying the water for them. And if the media coverage isn't on something, they're doing it wrong. Hence, they failed to bring attention to the gun control debate. Again, what did we talk about on this channel when I told you it was all about something other than what they were saying? Check this out. Nursing a narrow majority into a challenging election year, this is CBS. Democrats in the Senate have made several attempts over the past month to inject some urgency into the gun control fight. Why would they need to inject urgency into the gun control fight when every single gun control acolyte is telling us now's the time, the gun lobby is dead, the NRA is dead, gun rights don't matter. All the while, all the evidence is pointing directly in the contrary, what we cover on this channel. Why would they need to inject energy in something that was clearly victorious? Yes, exactly. Let's keep going. They held the Judiciary Committee hearing that featured Bryant and other witnesses. Other Democrats have proposed a range of new legislation on combating ghost guns, tightening regulations on semi-automatics, and providing more federal assistance to gun violence victims. Now, last week, this is so key, Senate Democratic leaders tried to draw attention to gun control with a series of doomed parliamentary moves. Doomed? But Davey Hogg and Samuel Schwartz and Moms in Action and Every Time for Gun Safety, GiveFirst.org, they were all telling us it was time. Thank you so much, Senator Schumer, for doing it. About time we got this done. We told you, literally I told you this. Tim and I told you this. Katie told you this. They had no chance to do what they were trying to do, yet they were building all this momentum off the gun controllers' desires for a guaranteed failure. CBS is openly saying it. Let's continue. They acknowledge they're fighting an uphill battle. Whoa! An uphill battle? Again, I'd like you to point back to everything I just said prior about everyone saying that gun rights were dead forever, the NRA was done, they defeated the gun lobby, all these things, and all of a sudden, now it's an uphill battle. Isn't that weird how that switches? Because they have to cover themselves for a loss. Understand, the big L's that they just took were a gamble for marketing. It's failing. That's why CBS is giving them an out. It's an uphill battle all of a sudden. This is not by accident. Let's keep going because we're about to hear from, what's that guy's name? John Fetterman saying how it's not going to work. This is crazy. So this is about Heinrich. This is the senator who unveiled the new gun control bill last week. Flanked by orange signs with Go Safe Act in large letters, Heinrich announced his proposal in a 30-minute main event in the first floor meeting room of the Capitol. He told the group of spectators and TV cameras that a suspect in a deadly shooting in Farmington, New Mexico was carrying an AR-15 that could have been regulated by this legislation. As he stood near an elevator bank on the Senate floor, Heinrich told CBS News he remains optimistic that some gun control measures could be seriously considered before 2024 election. He says, this is the big part, he says he talked with and shared a draft of his legislation with Senate Republicans, but Heinrich was quick to acknowledge that we haven't landed anyone yet. Well, that's a little different than the whole narrative they were pushing forward, isn't it? Yep, it's falling apart. Let's continue because Fetterman's about to come in and make an appearance. Listen to this. Does this sound like what they've been pitching? The pessimism that pervades gun control legislation discussions is unsurprising. Pessimism that pervades gun control legislation discussions? I thought Chris Murphy said they were going to win and it was over. I thought, again, all of the narrative that we've been pitched for the last 8 to 10 months was that we were against the wall and gun rights were dead forever. That's not aligning with this. In fact, this is aligning with what you and I talk about consistently day to day from the things and the reports that are coming from the ground, not this bull narrative that they're putting out. That's why I'm covering this story right now, is because it's unveiling the truth. CBS is actually saying the truth in an attempt to cover for the losses of the Senate Democrats by saying they failed. You're awake. This is real. Now let's get to Fetterman, because if that doesn't make you question, I don't know what does. Senator John Fetterman, a Pennsylvania Democrat, told CBS News it's a very complex and divided situation. Right now, with everything else that we're into, it just hasn't been the priority. That's so weird. By the way, little note, when you hear Democrats say it's complex and divided, that means they don't have the votes and it's dead in the water. That's what it means. Because usually it's the bully pulpit, but when they have nothing, it's complex. It's really hard to get all the angles, right? It's all the excuse language. Here's another thing he said. When we have things like Ukraine, we have Israel, and the threat of shutting governments down, Fetterman said, we don't have the ability to address this issue, which is a very critical issue, now trying to throw a little bit of support to it. The main point that I want to bring to attention here is they will never, ever, ever say what the real true on-the-ground report is. It's all about marketing. It's all about appeal. It's all about narrative pushing. That's what the entire thing was this past week. CBS just came out and said they openly failed. So when you see a narrative being pushed this hard from one direction, and then all of a sudden the media comes out and says something the exact opposite instantly, there's something up, and that's what we cover, and that's why we do everything that we do, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.